morning brief for Tuesday, the 9th of June 2026. Let's get this up over here. Yesterday, Monday, did sweep the previous week's low, which was set on Friday on that very strong move down, and has closed as a key up bar. So it's closed in the upper 50% of the day's range and has closed above the previous day's low. So does price continue on from up here? Does it start to go down and fill this wick and go and retest yesterday's low? Remains to be seen. Looking on the 5-minute chart, I'll sort of go over what I saw yesterday and what I traded, and in all honesty, it was a very bad day of trading for me. Not in terms of dollar loss, but in terms of the way I traded and how the market played out for me. So we'll go and recap as much as I can, as much as I want to. So starting off, price, we'll put on some levels. Just turn that off for the moment. So coming up, the immediate sweep of the previous day's low on the first hour, and price did move up to go and target this hourly high here. Nothing for me to do there. I was just being patient. We did get a close above the point of control, but the lower value file line was right above here, so I didn't want to take any trades on. Then we had this beautiful sweep and rejection, but we were still above the dynamic value line. This would have been a beautiful trade. So I was sitting nice and patiently and waiting for my trade. Got a very strong rejection from this first file line down, but it closed below the dynamic file line, so I was sort of going, do I sell here, do I sell here? But we haven't cleared this level here. We're sort of rejecting the previous day's low. But anyway, finally I got this closed down. We hadn't closed below the lower file line, but I said, no, I had enough. I've got a trade. I'm going to look for a trade. And I entered here on the close of this hourly, which closed below the previous day's low, but still inside this range. And I was targeting, first target was obviously the low of the day, and I had my stop above this key bar down rather than the previous hourly high, and it tagged me by about 6 ticks. I didn't want to affect the trade, so I just let it play out, and when I came back to the chart, I think price was already down here somewhere, and I went, we'll just wear that. It was about, I think just a 1 hour was about $100 off, so that was okay. The trade was all managed, all good. And then sort of walked away for a while, went about my day, and came back to the charts and saw this lovely sweep. It swept this hourly range high here, closed below the previous day's low, the volume profile, lower value area, dynamic value line, all looking good for sells. Yep, great. I was a bit late, but I got in on a retracement back to here. And then price made it all the way down here, and I'm off sort of cooking dinner and getting everything sorted out. I said, no, I'm going to have my target down here. And my target was a little bit above the low of the day, and it bounced. And do you close once the hourly closed back above the dynamic value line? I was sort of thinking, we've rejected here. If I close now and it goes down, I'll be kicking myself. And price just kept on moving with lots of news about Trump saying that there's going to be a ceasefire in Hormuz, and bang, got stopped out again. So 2 losses, and then I was feeling like, as we normally do as humans, like the market's out to get me. So I saw this hourly just pumping back up here, and I think, oh well, it's definitely going to go back up to at least this lower value fire line. It might go and tag the high of the day. So I just jumped in, middle of the candle, jumped in and thinking, yep, I'll just leave it, have my stop here. Look at the stop, 348 ticks. I had 2 contracts on, so I'm risking well over $600 on this trade to target 152. So targeting 6.44. So obviously not thinking very clearly at this stage, and sometimes you just can't stop yourself. Fortunately, it kept me up until about 2 a.m. my time, where I kept checking it and checking it, and once price started to reject off here, again, I just got up and just closed the trade for a very, very small profit compared to my loss. So look, in hindsight, just really terrible trading, but as a human being, that's just sometimes how things just play out, and you just got to try and do better the next day. Looking forward now, we can just try and erase what happened yesterday. We are stuck between the upper value fire line, the inflection point and a downsloping dynamic value line. The 9 SMA, so this is the 1 minute dynamic value line, is crossed, so we are in a dead cross, we're bearish. We have swept this inside hourly high, but not this one here, but we've also swept this hourly low. So we can sort of put that in now to see where we are. Come on now. Gee, it annoys me when I trade like that. And so now, if we get a close below this inflection point, we are on for sells, definitely. Looking to trade down to this lower value fire line. There is this hourly low sitting here that I decided to jump in, so we should mark that one out. And of course, we've got yesterday's low. If we are looking for very tight range, this is still on, so I should mark that out as well. It's taking a long time today to process all of this. This is the point of control where we're right at the moment from yesterday's New York session. We've got our volume profile zone here now. Should mark this in because that's interesting. If the price starts to move back up the charts again, this is an untouched value area high from Friday, so that could be very interesting. Just mark that black. Right. So that's what I'm looking at. If we start to close below here, try and trade down. There's a low just sticking out here. There's a low here. All possible areas price could sweep and react from, or just plow straight through. We've got very close. We've got this lower value fire line and the first fire line down very close together too. So not a bad target coming in before the previous day's low. Double low here. Much prefer selling at the moment, but still open to trading up. But we'll have to get through all of this to try and target. This is yesterday's high. I think that's enough, you reckon?